Greetings, fellow builders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders. Episode 40, the Vault in its final form. Two questions for you as we start. One is priority. So focusing on the vault defense would mean beefing up the kill box even more, and then further securing the southern area, making sure that we have a much more hardened base ready for raiders. We could also focus on vault improvement. So vault improvement at this point would look something like moving the research and hospital into the vault, and then tidying up the workshop slash storeroom so that it's like not crazy, because this was very much impromptu and it's horrible. I fully acknowledge it's like a terrible setup and it looks awful. So we could fix that up. We could also do some gene tailoring. We don't have a lot of fuel for this, but we did just get back at the end of last stream with Crimson. So Crimson brought home another gene tailoring pod, so we'll be able to start gene tailoring again soon. We could aid the deserters. Now, if we end up aiding the deserters, my plan was to do a lot of visibility quests to lower our visibility, because our visibility right now is high enough that it's going to be difficult to get things done because they're kind of aware of our presence. We could focus on improving weapons and armor. We did unlock cataphract helmets. We also unlocked locust armor, and cataphract helmets and locust armor are honestly the best combination that I can think of for most use cases. Locust armor gives you jumping ability, which increases your mobility a lot, and the cataphract helmets are just as strong as they can be. Now, of course, there's like the specialty helmets included in Empire and Deserter that might be even better, but they're like much harder to get. And then we could also find the rest of the tech prints, although to be fair, there are not a lot of tech prints left. There's compact weaponry, poison synthesis, which are both like implants that might not really matter to a shooter. Flesh shaping if we want to be so pretty, but I don't really care. Molecular analysis if you want to smell real good. And then the tech print of Imperial War solutions for different shells. So there isn't a lot of tech prints, but up to you. And then the question I have for you after this one is who gets gene tailored? Because of course we want to continue gene tailoring our peeps, and I don't know who goes through the process, so that will be up to you as well. So many sleep accelerator noises. The love enhancer makes colonists smell good. No, what I meant is the molecular analysis would be the gastroanalyzer. The love enhancer is the looking pretty. The smell good is the gastroanalyzer, which makes you smell good. It's the Binac nose that like makes you better at cooking. It's silly. Rare thrombos. Huh. That's cool. Oh, right. There's like also all the dead people out here and animals. And like, we should probably haul them in before they go spoiling. So I'll change the allowances to bring them into the butchery. Because we had used, we had been attacked, and we used animal pulsers to deal with it. So there'd be a lot of corpses. In fact, there's like very little wildlife full stop because of all the corpses as a result. I think Rod, come on down here. Oopsie poopsie. God, that's easy. There's one thrombo. And then Crimson and Rod will get the other ones once Crimson's up and Rod's shock is off cooldown. That psychic shock makes thrombo hunting really inconsequential. I would go so far as to say it almost makes sense to have thrombo immune to psycasts, because like of how stupidly easy this is. Of course, in this situation, you can also like biobattery it or try to tame it or whatever. Oh my lord, we have nowhere room for this meat. Yo, get back here. And it looks like vault improvements seems to be the popular option, so we're going to do that. So, who gets gene tailored? And update the priority. Improve move the vault. So in terms of gene tailoring, if you want to make an informed decision here, in terms of powers, we got a 1-0, 1-0, done. 2-0 for Professor. Rod is a 3-1. The 1 is Bigot, which doesn't really matter because we never Warden. Fun size is 3-0. Fun size, of course, it's worth noting, cannot die to these because of self-resurrection, but has failed a lot, hilariously. Turtle is still deaf, but also, like, has trauma savant, so that weakness doesn't really matter either. Dagger Knight is 1-0. Maxi is 1-1, has Callus. Might be worth removing that at some point. Misha is done, and Agent Venom now has 2-0. Regeneration and super speed. I think we have some meat. Just a little bit. Let's see. Crimson, what are you up to? You are digging into the deep drill? Don't. Just come over here and shock down another one. Oh, did someone else butcher something else? Who's hauling to that spot? Because that spot just got filled. Hold on. Alright, Imperial Defenses just got researched. Is there any other research I could even do? No. Everything is tech print locked. Got it. And we are waiting for... Oh, there it is. The new gene pod. There is also going to be an ancient point defense. There was a YouTube comment that said maybe because I have a bait beacon, it might be wise to have ancient point defenses around the bait beacon. So I can potentially fire upon the raiders that come on pod drop raids around the beacon. So I'll set up some ancient point defenses around there for that purpose. And I'll probably have to build something for that as well. There is, of course, the ancient geothermal plant, which can replace the regular one. So I'll break down the regular one and in place put the better one that generates a lot more. And then all of these other installations we can then break down for like plasteel. All right, you guys obviously want fun size to go through this. Our current power is enough for fun size to go through a cycle. So here's the prediction. Will fun sized succeed or not? He's trying for a new power, his 4th power. And I'll read you the chances before he hops in. So, adding a superpower is a 30% chance of failure. Do you think it will be successful? How many times has he died at this point? Like, the dude is pretty intimately familiar with death, I suppose. Kind of feel bad, because, like, I don't think he wants to keep dying. It's a miserable existence. Alright. So if we wanted to use the ancient point defense in this area, well, here is the rub. So I don't want random raiders. I don't really know how to set this up. So here's the problem. If we have turrets out in the open, they'll be targeted by raiders. Potentially. But if I wall up this area, pod drop raiders won't be able to get out of this area and will destroy everything. I don't actually think I'm going to have the ancient point defenses covered there because of that. I'm just going to leave it as is. Will they be targeted if it's off? Well, the moment I get attacked by pod drop raids, I can turn them on at a moment's notice. So there is a very, very, very slight delay, but not really one at all. I also think that the ancient defenses don't break down and require component replacements, which means if we are generating enough power, we can just leave them on at all times. Won't they just head straight for the kill box? They would, yes. So they're going to probably die anyway. So maybe it doesn't really matter to some degree or another whether we have the point defenses around them or not. It's a fair point. It's a fair argument. All right, we wanted to move the hospital inside, and research room. And I think the best way to do this is to put it here in this, like, I don't know, because we kind of are using this as a meditation room now. Shoot. There is this room here with the 2 coolers. This could be a hospital. It is like, what we could do is we can move this bedroom over there and then have this as the hospital because it's like closest to the kill box. That might make the most sense. I think at this point, I'm going to destroy some of the shelves in here because I think what we need to do is we need to move stuff around our base. Like laying out a proper workshop and like condensing things and not hoarding so much, and just a lot of other little changes like that. So I'll be doing some vault improvement projects, but it's going to look really bad until it looks good again. Just a fair warning. I'm also going to put in some additional vents to make sure that there's like a better airflow around the base to prevent there from being warm spots. HVAC room above the kitchen. Yeah, I could excavate an area around here and put a HVAC room and like a prison slash hospital or something. But I was hoping to not expand the footprint of the base anymore and just like try to work within the confines of the area that I have right now as a bit of a challenge, I guess. So if we're doing a workshop, I want to set up the workshop so that it's around the tool benches here. So that's another thing that I'll work on, is changing the layouts. And all these vents here are going to help to keep the base evenly cold to prevent infestations. Okay. Take a quick look at the temperature map. It's cold. It's also like December outside, so it's a cold season. It's not like it's particularly difficult to keep the base frozen at the moment. All right, this stockpile here was for apparel. And I probably want to put that on shelves eventually. All right, our power generation, our excess is so great that I don't really need to worry about keeping things on or off. I can keep them all on. And we are now visibility of rumors. That's good. Our visibility is dropping. So the following effects have been deactivated. Raids from the Empire happen twice as often. Imperial armies on quest locations are 50% bigger. And propaganda drops. Basically, game's a little bit easier now, which I think is going to be a lot helpful. So here I am moving the, oh, hey, look at that. There was like unexposed floors. I'm moving the coolers into the corner, so they're kind of like out of the way. All the coolers are set at the same temperature. Oh, drinks on you? Well, thank you, Crimson. Cheers. Let's shrink the inside of this so it's not so messy. And if I'm doing my job correctly, things should look a lot more clean soon. Now, if we're putting the bio battery there, I'll route power around it so it doesn't interrupt the power cables. What other oh, yeah, the tailoring. Mending. Is there another bench I'm missing? I'm missing a drug bench, maybe? Yes. I'm missing the drug lab. Well, let's take a look. So I have machining table, fab bench, research. I need to move, but it won't be here. Butcher I have, stove I have, woodcutter. Yeah. So the only thing I really needed was the drug lab, which is getting put in. Now, I will say it probably makes the most sense not to have like a column of blockers here. Let's see. Structure, column, uranium. That looks more right. And I'm going to change this location. Because I want free freedom of movement around here. So it's going to end up looking a lot more like a proper workshop than it does now. There we go. So now there's not like blockers or anything preventing us from moving around. It'll be a lot easier to traverse the base. And I haven't lost a ton of storage space either. Oh, I just realized the superchargers aren't on. Let's flick those back on, see what our power needs look like, because we can always get another another generator. That's relatively easy. Wow, that is a lot of sick animals. Speaking of sick animals, we've got not a lot of leathers. We have a lot of cloth, so I'm going to excavate a little bit more of the barn and have them sleep in there or something. That will be especially useful if there's like toxic fallout or some other environmental condition where they can't be outside. I don't want to go into the overhead mountain. I don't want it to spawn bugs, but a little bit larger is fine. We don't have a ton of horses. How many horses do we have total? Like 8? All right. That should be good. Floor it up with straw, and then I can even like smooth it out and make it somewhat decent. All right, other base improvements. I know that I said hospital. So one of the things that we're going to need to do is to move the ancient coolers. If I want this, what I'm planning is having the hospital research room be here. I know it's small, but like so be it. So if we're moving these, I don't love the idea of like putting the coolers in the bedrooms, but I think it should still work. And as long as the bedrooms don't lose a ton of quality, it should be fine. They're not ugly. They're just like take up space. I would consider putting in Misha's bedroom. The problem is I'm worried that removing slag from Misha's bedroom will actually make that room nicer, which would be worse. So taking a look at my grid excess, it does look like with everything powered on, I am in the negative. Let's make sure that the geothermals are connected. So I am in the negative, but I do have like a remarkable amount of stuff plugged in at the moment. So we could always hit another geothermal vent and tap that if we need. But I'm not too concerned because I could conserve a lot more power by just flicking some excess stuff off. What do straw's floors actually do? They help to reduce filth. So they're highly flammable, but they have a magical, like, deletes filth. So it deletes 95% of the filth that would have generated on the tile. At the cost of course, massive flammability, bad beauty, and bad cleanliness. But for animals that produce a lot of filth, so not all animals produce filth, like pets don't, like cats and dogs don't, but really big animals produce a lot of filth. So it's a good way to help keep filth in check, as long as you are willing to risk the flammability factors. All right, so Fun Size Killjoy, you are going to be sleeping over here. And then we'll turn this into a hospital and a research room. Is there a reason for the low moods? That's a good question. Sky high expectations is probably the biggest driver. The people that have low moods, it's not so much that the mood is low, it's just it's not high. Okay, I did get rid of the slag haul zone. Guess I could put stone chunks here. We'll call it stone chunks and slag. It's a tiny zone, but I just don't want to amass a ton of garbage in the base. Marriage is on. Well, that was fast. Oh, to be young, right? Okay, next is trying to get everything on the shelves. So the shelves here, I'm going to allow all, and then remove the things that I don't want on it, like corpses, and I think that's about it. Basically just corpses. Then for the clothing, I think what I could do is set up different stockpiles. So maybe what I'll do in this case, what other stones do I have? I have marble. I'll have a different colored shelf for the clothing that we wear. Mech clusters. So this thing has a high shield, and a low shield. The northern group isn't covered by the low shield. It's got a smoke spewer, which is immediately active, which doesn't really matter to us. We don't grow a lot of stuff outdoors that is like super sensitive. But we're going to want to get rid of this sooner or later all the same. So so what I could do is I could laser eye this pikeman, probably blow up the smoke spewer in the process, and then lure them all to the kill box. I'll do that just in a second. So now the only things on the floor are buildings that wouldn't otherwise have a spot to be placed. And I think what I can do is unify that stockpile. So this is Vault Stockpile 1. And Vault Stockpile 2. I think it looks a lot cleaner. A lot cleaner. Definitely a vault improvement. So the last part is moving research up here. The one stupid thing about this is like I'm almost done with research, so it almost feels a bit like pointless to do it. Because we're just so close to having the entire research tree be done, but like that's fine. The one thing that we can't move, however, is going to be brewing barrels. right? Like, brewing barrels need to be in a very specific temperature, and if they're not, they don't work. Oh, I don't really need to rebuild an analyzer. Let's just move the old one. And then for this room, we will sterilize the tiles. Fun size will be out in 5 hours. Who gets gene tailored? Well, I won't pull that yet because it might change depending on whether he survives the process or not. Yeah, and I'll merge research and medical together. Yeah. Speaking of which, sick horses go inside. Don't forget the books. Yeah, they're coming. All right, I think it looks pretty good. The changes. I don't have the individual, oh, here we go. So fun size killjoys has worked. And there's two choices to be had here. So the left choice is the benefit of plasteel skeleton. Basically, you are immune to your bones being cracked or broken. The disadvantage is he becomes mute. And the right is that he is unstoppable, so he doesn't feel pain, and he won't be downed until he's dead, which normally would be a problem, but he's also immune, but it does give him egotistical, which means that he refuses to do everything, basically, except for fight. Probably a weakness to be removed. All right, I think unstoppable but egotistical seems to be the popular choice. So that is his fourth power. So he is glory kill, bulletproof skin, self-resurrecting, and unstoppable. He's turning into a bit of a beast. The question is, who to gene tailor next? If you want fun sized again, feel free to throw him his name into the hat. But for now, I'm going to turn off the gene tailor room and get ready for the cluster once we're done with the hospital. So with the gene tailoring room off, we do have a grid excess of about almost 6k watts. It's pretty good. Oh, my zone got destroyed. Okay. You want fun size in there again? Let's stick him in again. What's weird is, like, his work priorities seem to be unaffected by the egotistical. So I don't know if that's a weakness that, like, actually functionally works. But whatever. Remove weakness. So a 70% chance of failure. And let me resolve the last prediction. And almost 70% of you thought it would succeed. So what about this next one? We went from a 70% chance to succeed to a 70% chance to fail. I'm curious how your predictions will correlate. Now, I don't have a biofuel refinery in this room. I could probably put one in, like, there. And do something similar on the other side. I don't need to think about that just yet, though. And I am ripping up the floor over here because the floor that we had in there was, like, really wealthy. Rich floor. And I want to put in poor floor. I don't really care too much about colony value, but it doesn't need to be a pretty place, so we're just going to override it. Alright, everybody, let's go inside. Crimson, pop over here. I'm actually surprised. I know they have proximity sensors, but I haven't even bothered to zone them away from this area, and it hasn't been an issue. I should have probably been a little bit more careful that they wouldn't, like, waltz into the proximity. And as expected, the pikemen immediately got vaporized. The smoke cloud got destroyed. That's going to trigger all of the mechs to be pissed, and they should be coming to us to be murdered. Crimson's invisible and is holding fire. I'm just out here. Well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't even take chances. How are you even attacking this door? Like, you're attacking it. I see you physically attacking it, but what are you even attacking? Because last I checked, that door is not vulnerable. One got through. Which is not a problem. And we're just letting our automated defenses take care of basically all of this. They are getting absolutely shredded. The turrets aren't even all that damaged. So the turrets don't have, like, barricade coverage, which I could add, but I was only really planning on adding it if I thought I needed it, and so far as I can tell, it isn't all that necessary, because we are winning handily. Plus this centipede burner, maybe its eyes are destroyed or something. Yeah, its sight is pretty good. It keeps missing, like, in the most pathetic ways. Oh, they got a mini turret. We did run out of ammo. But I'll resolve this now. There is some, like, line of sight issues with the kill box. I only had the, you know, the deep water to play with, so I was somewhat physically constrained by where I could build. Oh, there goes some walls. Whoopsie. Now all that's left over here is smoke. Oddly, or ironically, I think Rod would be really good at smoking out enemies. Because he is, who has Berserker Pulse? Because he has, like, extremely good range. Where is my smoke launcher? There it is. Alright, let's finish this up. Oh, that's weird. Is this double the... Yeah, no, that is double the range. Alright, shooters. Come over here, and we will get smoking. So not a lot of damage. Killbox worked. It wasn't a ton of mechs, but our vault builders didn't even get involved at all. So given that they weren't involved at all, I think it went quite well. Now, given the cloud of smoke, I should be able to approach in here and without any trouble. I'll have Rod approach, too. We'll just clean up the turrets and be done. Because one of the advantages is this is on the inside of the low shield, so the low shield can't protect it anymore. Low shield's gone. Oh, there's like a really annoying line of sight issue here. There we go. The mech cluster obviously landed in the middle of a ruin, and as a result... Well, you know, come to think of it, it's actually not that much of a problem, because I can just, like, walk up to it. It can't even shoot me until I'm within its minimum range. I just don't want it blowing up on my face. Is that it? I think that's it. There's the printer, but that's pretty easy to resolve. Alright, schedule. Unrestricted. And done. A little bit of repairs to make and some reloading, but really nothing all that serious. Okay, our research room and hospital is now inside. The old room is just like a brewery, I guess. There's a few other things that I wanted to move, which would be the chem-gen. So I'm going to move the chem-gen. And then I'm going to do priority, because we're basically done with vault improvement. So I'm going to remove vault improvement from the poll. There's really not anything left for me to do in that. And yeah, I think, oh, you know, there is actually one other thing that I need to do. I need shelves for the fabricator. And maybe seats for things. But like, that's not that big of a deal. And then to move the biorefinery. Alright, a good sculpture. Move the normal into the hospital. Agent Venom with a creativity. Does that help? You have a crafting of 10, so yeah, like possibly. What for you to make? Maybe I can try for him to make locust armor? I think Sapo would still be better at it, but I don't mind the attempt. Oh my god, you're fast. I mean, of course, you are a speedster. The speed force is strong with you. And then we have another berserk. Sapo, you learn that. soon the dead drop should reveal itself. I don't know exactly when, but I'm assuming it will happen pretty soon. You know, those corners aren't going to work. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Vault Builders.